Ladies and gentlemen, we all have desires, dreams, and visions for a better life. But wanting something and actually achieving it are two very different things. The truth is, most people don't get what they really want, not because they're not capable, but because they haven't been taught how to create it. Today, I want to share with you 4 key points that will help you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. These are not just theories, they are principles that can transform your life if applied with commitment and consistency. Getting absolutely clear on what you want is the foundation of every meaningful achievement in life. Without clarity, your energy is scattered, your decisions become uncertain, and your path forward remains clouded in confusion. Clarity is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It is the compass that guides your actions, thoughts, and emotions toward a specific outcome. When you are truly clear about what you want, everything begins to align. Your mind, your focus, and your behaviors begin to support your vision, creating momentum and certainty in your pursuit. Clarity begins with introspection. It starts by asking yourself the tough, honest questions. What do I really want? What matters most to me? What kind of life would make me feel truly fulfilled? These aren't questions to rush through or answer based on what others expect of you. True clarity comes from within. It reflects your deepest values, passions, and desires. It requires you to strip away the noise of external opinions, societal pressures, and past conditioning. Only then can you begin to hear your inner voice and understand what you truly want for yourself. Most people think they know what they want, but they often speak in vague terms. They say things like, I want to be successful. I want to be happy. Or I want more money. While these statements might be emotionally valid, they lack the precision needed to create a clear path. What does success mean to you personally? Is it owning your own business, becoming financially independent, or making a difference in the world? What does happiness look like for you? Is it peace of mind, strong relationships, or freedom to travel? Without specific definitions, you can't measure progress, and what you want remains a moving target. When you become crystal clear, you create focus. Focus is a superpower in a world filled with distraction. The moment your goal is clearly defined, your brain goes to work looking for ways to achieve it. It begins to filter information differently, notice opportunities you would have missed, and generate ideas to move you forward. This is the power of the mind when it knows exactly what to aim for. You become more strategic with your time, more selective with your decisions, and more intentional with your actions. Clarity also helps you say no to the things that don't serve your vision. One of the biggest challenges people face is not a lack of opportunities, but the inability to say no to distractions. When you don't know exactly what you want, everything seems tempting. You say yes to projects, commitments, and tasks that lead you in circles. But when you are absolutely clear, your priorities become obvious. You learn to protect your energy and devote it to what truly matters. You stop chasing everything and start building something specific. Getting clear also helps you tap into the emotional fuel that drives change. When your goals are vague, they don't generate strong emotion. But when you see your future clearly, when you can feel it, visualize it, and believe in it, you become emotionally invested. That emotional intensity is what fuels perseverance. It keeps you going when progress is slow or obstacles appear. It gives your goal meaning and transforms it from a wish into a commitment. You begin to feel as though your goal isn't just something you'd like to have, it's something you must create. Another key benefit of clarity is that it eliminates internal conflict. Many people feel stuck because part of them wants one thing while another part pulls in the opposite direction. For example, you may want to grow a business but also want complete freedom from responsibility. You may want to improve your health but still indulge in comfort habits that keep you stuck. When you are unclear, your decisions are full of resistance. But clarity brings coherence. It helps you identify conflicting values and align your goals with your highest intentions. You stop fighting yourself and start moving in harmony with your truth. Clarity also enables you to plan effectively. Once you know what you want, you can reverse engineer the steps to get there. You can create milestones, set deadlines, and measure progress. You can find mentors who have already achieved what you want and model their strategies. You can invest in the skills, resources, and habits that support your direction. With clarity, your plan no longer feels overwhelming. It feels doable. The path is illuminated, and you can take action with confidence rather than hesitation. Even in uncertain times, clarity offers stability. Life will always have elements of the unknown. External circumstances can change, challenges can arise, and plans may need to be adjusted. But when you are clear about your desired outcome, you remain grounded. You don't panic with every disruption because your inner compass keeps you aligned. You may change your approach, but your vision remains intact. That unwavering sense of purpose gives you resilience and flexibility, two of the most valuable qualities on any journey of growth. It's also important to revisit your clarity regularly. As you grow, your desires and values may evolve. What was important to you 5 years ago may not reflect what you want today. That's why clarity is not a one-time decision, it's an ongoing process. Check in with yourself, reflect on your progress, adjust your goals if needed, stay connected to your vision. The clearer you are, the more powerful you become in creating the life you want. In essence, clarity is the gateway to transformation. It is the first and most important step in achieving any goal. It gives your mind a target, your heart a reason, and your actions a purpose. Without it, you wander. With it, you lead. Getting absolutely clear on what you want isn't about having every detail figured out from the start. It's about making a firm decision about the direction you want your life to go and committing to that vision. When you do, life begins to respond. Opportunities arise, people show up, resources appear, but it all begins with the decision to get clear. So take the time to reflect, to dream, and to define. Get specific, write it down, feel it in your heart, and then move forward with certainty. The clearer you are, the faster you move, and the more certain your outcome becomes. Finding a compelling reason, your why, is the driving force behind lasting achievement and personal fulfillment. It is the emotional fuel that pushes you beyond obstacles, keeps you grounded in moments of uncertainty, and propels you to keep going even when it's difficult. Without a clear and powerful reason, most goals eventually lose their appeal, motivation fades, and progress slows to a crawl. Your why is not just a motivator, it is the soul of your mission. The emotional core that gives purpose and urgency to everything you do. At the heart of every successful individual lies a powerful why. It's never just about the end goal, whether that's making money, achieving recognition, or building something great. The true engine is the meaning behind it. A compelling why makes the difference between trying and committing. When you simply try, you're testing the waters, and the moment it gets hard, it's easy to step back. But when you're committed, when your reason is non-negotiable, you find a way. You push through fear, fatigue, and failure because you're connected to something greater than temporary discomfort. The process of finding your why begins with self-inquiry. You have to go deeper than surface-level desires and uncover what truly matters to you. Ask yourself, why do I want this goal? Why is it important? What will it give me, and what will it allow me to give others? When you dig beyond the superficial answers, you begin to uncover values and emotions that hold deep meaning. Maybe you want financial success not just for material things, but to give your children a better future, to provide for your family, or to gain the freedom to live life on your terms. Maybe you want to get healthier not just to look good, but to feel confident, to live longer for your loved ones, or to prove to yourself that you can overcome limitations. When your why is linked to emotion, it becomes powerful. Emotion is what drives behavior. You don't make changes in your life from logic alone. You change when something touches your heart, when the pain of staying the same outweighs the fear of change, or when the vision of a better future excites you more than the comfort of your current reality. That emotional connection turns your goal into a mission. It turns a vague wish into a burning desire. With emotion attached, you're more willing to make sacrifices, to stay up late, to wake up early, to do the uncomfortable work, because it matters that much. Your why also becomes your anchor during tough times. Every journey worth taking will involve challenges. There will be moments when things don't go as planned, when doubt creeps in, and when you feel like giving up. That's when your why becomes crucial. It reminds you of the purpose behind your pain. It reminds you that the struggle is temporary, but the result is worth it. When your why is strong enough, no setback can stop you permanently. You may slow down, you may stumble, but you will not quit, because your reason is bigger than the obstacle. A compelling reason also gives you direction. It helps you make aligned decisions. In a world full of distractions and conflicting demands, your why becomes a filter. When you know your reason, you can ask, does this action support my mission? Does this path align with what I truly care about? If not, it becomes easier to say no, to eliminate noise, and to stay focused. This clarity creates momentum because all your energy is channeled in one direction, toward your purpose. Your why can also evolve. As you grow, your values may shift, your priorities may change, and your vision may expand. That's natural. What's important is to stay connected to the reason that fuels you in the present. Revisit your why often. Reflect on it, refine it, make it vivid and emotionally rich. Visualize it daily. Feel the emotions tied to it. Speak it out loud. Let it live inside you so that it becomes part of your identity. When your reason is alive within you, motivation doesn't have to be forced. It flows naturally. Moreover, your why doesn't just impact your performance, it impacts your fulfillment. When your actions are aligned with a purpose you care about, your work becomes more meaningful. You feel more engaged, more alive. Life becomes more than a series of tasks. It becomes a mission. That sense of purpose boosts your energy, sharpens your focus, and enhances your resilience. You're not just chasing goals, you're living with intention. In relationships, business, health, or personal development, a powerful why creates deeper meaning. It strengthens your resolve and inspires others. When people see that you are driven by something meaningful, they respond to your passion. Leaders with a strong why inspire followership. Entrepreneurs with a clear mission build movements. Even in your personal life, when you operate from a place of purpose, you become more magnetic, more grounded, and more effective. If you haven't found your why yet, don't worry, it's not always immediate. Sometimes it takes life experience, reflection, or even struggle to uncover it. Pay attention to what stirs your soul. Notice the moments that move you deeply, the things that make you angry, the causes that excite you, the dreams that won't let go. Ask yourself what kind of legacy you want to leave. Ask yourself what makes you feel most alive. Those are the clues that lead you to your why. In the end, finding a compelling reason is not a step in the process, it's the foundation of it all. Goals without purpose become burdens, but goals with purpose become passions. Your why gives your life emotional richness, clarity, and power. It fuels your efforts, amplifies your strengths, and lifts you in your weakest moment. The question is not whether you can achieve your dream. The question is whether your reason is strong enough to carry you through. When it is, you become unstoppable. And that's when real transformation begins. Taking massive, intelligent action is the key differentiator between people who merely dream and those who achieve extraordinary results. Dreams are important, and clarity of purpose sets the stage, but it's action that transforms vision into reality. Massive action means moving with purpose, urgency, and consistency. It's not about waiting for the perfect plan or the right time. It's about stepping forward boldly, learning along the way, and adjusting as you grow. However, massive action alone is not enough. It must also be intelligent, guided by strategy, feedback, and a willingness to refine your approach. This combination of intensity and intentionality is what creates momentum and long-term success. Many people get stuck in the trap of analysis paralysis. They spend too much time planning, researching, and overthinking, trying to perfect every detail before taking the first step. But success doesn't reward perfection. It rewards movement. You learn more in motion than you ever will on the sidelines. Taking massive action allows you to create momentum, which is one of the most powerful forces in personal progress. Momentum keeps you going even when motivation fades. It builds confidence because each step forward shows you what's possible and reveals new opportunities you couldn't see from a distance. However, not all action is created equal. There's a big difference between being busy and being effective. Intelligent action means you're not just doing more, you're doing what matters most. It means prioritizing the activities that have the highest impact, that move the needle and that align with your goals. You might be putting in the hours, but if those hours aren't strategically targeted, you can end up exhausted but no closer to your goal. Intelligent action requires focus, clarity, and the discipline to say no to distractions. To take intelligent action, you must be willing to measure your results and adapt. One of the greatest advantages of taking action is the immediate feedback you receive. You find out what works and what doesn't. If something fails, it's not a sign to stop, it's a signal to refine. Successful people are relentless about adjusting their approach. They don't see failure as a dead end, but as a stepping stone to improvement. They learn quickly, course correct, and keep going. Every time they act, they gather data that helps them grow smarter and faster. Massive, intelligent action also requires courage. Often, people hesitate to act because of fear of failure, rejection, or judgment. But action is the antidote to fear. The more you do, the less intimidating the process becomes. Each step you take reduces anxiety and builds self-belief. You realize that most fears are illusions created in your mind, and the only way to overcome them is through direct experience. When you act boldly, you train yourself to be resilient. You stop waiting for confidence, and create it through action. Another critical component of intelligent action is resourcefulness. You don't need to have everything figured out to begin. You don't need all the money, connections, or skills. What you need is the mindset of possibility, the willingness to find a way no matter what. Resourcefulness means asking better questions, seeking help, leveraging what you do have, and staying solution-focused. People who achieve great things are not always the ones with the most resources, but the ones who are most resourceful. They use every setback as a learning moment, every obstacle as a creative challenge. Taking massive, intelligent action also means committing to consistency. One powerful effort is not enough. Success is built through repeated, intentional actions over time. It's not the big moments that define your journey, it's the small daily choices compounded over weeks and months. Consistency builds trust in yourself. It shows that you can keep your promises, follow through, and stay the course even when excitement wears off. That steady momentum compounds, creating breakthroughs that seem sudden but are the result of persistent effort. This level of action also requires discipline and time management. Every day presents countless choices about how to spend your energy. To take massive, intelligent action, you must protect your time and eliminate distractions. That might mean turning off notifications, setting boundaries, or creating routines that support deep work. The most successful people are not necessarily more talented, they're better at managing their time and attention. They don't rely on motivation alone, they build systems that keep them aligned with their goals. In addition, massive action thrives when fueled by a strong emotional reason. When you have a compelling why behind your actions, you bring a different level of energy and passion to what you do. Your actions become meaningful, not mechanical. You're not just working hard, you're working with heart. That emotional connection sustains you when things get tough. It helps you push through fatigue, resist temptation, and stay focused on the bigger picture. Also, intelligent action involves leveraging others. You don't have to do everything alone. Collaborating, delegating, and seeking mentorship can accelerate your progress. Learn from those who've already achieved what you want. Model their strategies, ask questions, build a network of support and accountability. When you surround yourself with people who challenge you to rise higher, you multiply your capacity for action. You also gain new perspectives and insights that keep you moving forward more effectively. Ultimately, taking massive, intelligent action is about living with urgency and intention. It's deciding that you're no longer willing to sit on the sidelines of your own life. It's about taking full responsibility for your future and stepping into your potential with commitment and courage. Every great success story is rooted in this principle. Those who act boldly, learn quickly, and refuse to stop. No one achieves greatness by waiting. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need permission. What you need is to start where you are with what you have and move forward with determination. Let go of perfection. Embrace the process. Trust that clarity will come through action. When you take massive, intelligent action, you send a signal to yourself and to the world that you're serious about creating change. And that signal sets powerful forces in motion. So take the leap. Don't just think about what you want, move toward it. Break down your goal into actionable steps. Focus on what matters. Be relentless in your pursuit and flexible in your strategy. Learn, grow, adjust, and keep going. Action is the bridge between desire and result. Take it massively, take it intelligently, and watch your vision come to life. Celebrating progress and staying committed are two of the most powerful principles for creating lasting transformation and sustaining long-term success. Often, people focus so intensely on the end goal that they forget to acknowledge how far they've come. They overlook the small wins, the daily efforts, and the consistent steps forward that actually form the foundation of achievement. Without recognition, motivation wanes. Without commitment, progress stalls. But when you make it a habit to celebrate each step forward while remaining deeply committed to your ultimate vision, you build a mindset of momentum, resilience, and joy. Progress is the evidence of movement. It shows that your actions are working, that you are growing, and that you are evolving. It's easy to get discouraged when you feel like you're far from where you want to be. But if you take a moment to reflect on what you've already achieved, whether it's learning a new skill, breaking an old habit, or just being more consistent, you'll see that you're not the same person you were when you started. That realization creates positive energy. It lifts your spirit, builds confidence, and reinforces your belief in what's possible. Celebrating progress doesn't mean throwing a party for every little step, but it does mean intentionally acknowledging your efforts. It could be a quiet moment of reflection, a journal entry, a high five with a friend, or a small reward to mark a milestone. These acts of celebration trigger positive emotions, which strengthen neural connections in the brain and reinforce the behavior that got you there. In other words, when you celebrate progress, you're training your brain to associate effort with satisfaction. This makes it more likely that you'll keep showing up, even on tough days. The act of celebration also transforms the emotional tone of your journey. Instead of seeing the process as a grind or a burden, you start to enjoy it. You develop a mindset of gratitude and appreciation. You become more present, more engaged, and more open to learning. This positive emotional state fuels creativity, enhances performance, and builds resilience. People who celebrate often are more likely to persevere because they feel good about what they're doing, not just in anticipation of the result, but in the experience itself. Equally important is staying committed. Commitment is the glue that holds everything together when the initial excitement wears off. It's easy to be enthusiastic at the beginning of a journey when the vision is fresh and the possibilities seem endless. But as time passes, challenges arise, life gets in the way, doubts creep in. That's when commitment becomes essential. It's not about how you feel, it's about what you decide. Commitment is a choice to show up consistently even when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or uncertain. Staying committed doesn't mean forcing yourself to be perfect. It means being dedicated to your goal, even if the path changes. Flexibility in your approach, paired with unwavering dedication to your outcome, creates a powerful balance. It allows you to adapt without giving up. Sometimes progress is slow. Sometimes you'll take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That's normal. What matters is that you keep going. Every time you recommit to your goal, you strengthen your inner resolve and move closer to your vision. One of the best ways to reinforce both celebration and commitment is by tracking your progress. Whether it's through a journal, checklist, app, or calendar, tracking helps you see your efforts in a tangible way. It gives you a visual reminder of how far you've come and helps you stay focused on your next steps. It also gives you a chance to celebrate micro wins, those small moments of growth that might otherwise go unnoticed but are critical to long-term success. Another important aspect of staying committed is reconnecting with your why, your reason. The emotional core behind your goal is what keeps you anchored during hard times. When you remember why you started, the struggles feel more purposeful. You're not just enduring difficulty, you're building something meaningful. That sense of purpose reignites your passion and helps you push through moments of fatigue or frustration. Revisiting your why regularly is like fueling a fire. It keeps your commitment burning bright. Accountability can also play a significant role in maintaining commitment. When you share your goals with others, whether it's a friend, mentor, or group, you create a sense of responsibility beyond yourself. You become more likely to follow through because someone else is holding space for your progress. Support systems provide encouragement, perspective, and reminders of your potential when your own self-belief falters. In celebrating with others, your victories become even more meaningful, and in staying accountable, your resolve deepens. Moreover, the combination of celebration and commitment builds identity. When you regularly acknowledge your growth and stay dedicated to your path, you begin to see yourself differently. You no longer identify as someone who's trying, you become someone who follows through, someone who is disciplined, someone who finishes what they start. That identity shift creates a feedback loop. The more you see yourself as committed and capable, the more you act in alignment with that self-impute, and the more results you create. It's important to remember that progress looks different for everyone. What matters is not the speed or size of your steps, but the consistency and direction. Comparison is the thief of joy. If you measure your progress against others, you'll always find someone who seems further along. Instead, measure against your past self. Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you showing up? If the answer is yes, then you're winning. Celebrate that. Finally, recognize that celebrating progress and staying committed isn't just a strategy for achieving goals, it's a way of life. It builds emotional resilience, strengthens character, and cultivates a deep sense of fulfillment. When you approach life with a mindset of progress over perfection and commitment over convenience, you become unstoppable. You stop waiting for motivation and create it. You stop fearing setbacks and learn from them. You stop chasing outcomes and start living with purpose. In every area of life, health, relationships, career, personal growth, this principle holds true. Progress celebrated is progress multiplied. Commitment maintained is success assured. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about continuing to move forward, celebrating the wins, learning from the losses, and showing up again tomorrow with the same dedication and a little more wisdom. So take a moment today to recognize your progress, no matter how small it matters. Honor your effort, acknowledge your growth, then recommit to your journey. Remind yourself of why you started and who you're becoming. Keep showing up. Keep taking steps, keep believing, because with every small celebration and every renewed commitment, you're not just reaching for your goals, you're becoming the person capable of achieving them. And that is the greatest victory of all. Getting what you really want isn't about luck, it's about clarity, purpose, action, and resilience. You already have everything you need within you to create the life you desire. Decide today to stop waiting and start creating. Get clear, find your why, take massive action, and celebrate your journey. The future you dream of is not a fantasy, it's a decision away. Thank you.